Hey everybody, it's me, it's Michael B. Happy Monday night. So you guys, I always like that you come here and try to spend your positivity and your Monday nights with me, talking about positive things and having a good time. And the community's been a little negative lately with people up in arms about different topics, blaming the YouTubers and stuff like that. So I decided what better way to heal the community and bring everybody back together then talking about iArcade versus Arcade1Up Dragon's Lair and pitting those two fan bases head-to-head against each other. Then after that, let's talk about all the commotion in the iArcade community with people pissed off about a new cabinet coming out when the other cabinet's only been out little less than 2 years. And how long should a company wait before releasing a new cabinet? Oh, come on, guys. You know I'm going to put a positive spin on this. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy the show tonight. Let's have a chat about it. This is Chill and Chat with Michael B. Let's fight. Let's do it. Get in the ring. So, first things first, guys, I want to say hello to everybody here. Brooklyn Menace, Nix, Bobby Timpson, JJ, Nate UT, Sterling Hall, what's happening, brother? Bobby Timpson, Charlie Chuck, another cheesy Monday, that's right. Papa Brad's Gaming, I knew Papa Brad would be here. Who else is here? Chucky Shea, Goofy Foot, Ep Cyclone, Super J, BA, J Goose, Robo Tactics, and my buddy Sean Nesbitt. I also see Nooner there. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. As Bobby Timpson said, let's fight. Here we go, Console Kits. Give me a reason to be pissed tonight so that I can get pissed. Then you can calm me down. That's the score, guys. So anyways, yeah, so I picked a couple topics tonight that, honestly, if I mention this to like P-dubs or other YouTubers, they'd be like, ooh, you might want to stay away from that one. That's going to rile the community up. It's not going to be positive. But I don't like doing things that way. I like forging headfirst into a fire, maybe stupidly. But I thought it might be a good way for us to talk it out and figure it out what's going on with some of these topics. Arcade1Up, Dragon's Lair versus iArcade Dragon's Lair, I don't think that one should be too competitive. Really, my intention here is to tell people that, you know what, no matter what you choose, it's the right decision for you. I just want to bring all the points up about each cabinet and what you can expect from each, and then you can make a decision on what's the best for you. Or maybe you'll be like me and want to get both. So we'll talk about that. And then on the other side, people are upset in the iArcade community because the gold edition is coming out. So some people feel like it's too new. Other people are feeling like they may get screwed if it has new features. But then I'm looking at Arcade1Up cabinets. We've had re-releases with bigger, better components, better builds, new features. And no one seems to be as upset about that. So I'm just trying to understand what's the appropriate time period before you release a new version of your console or cab or whatever you want to call it. That's the meat of the potato, what we're going to be talking about tonight, guys. They both rock. That's the right answer. But enough. Evening, Michael B. Thanks, guys, so much. Goofy Foot with the hands up. I hope they put Paperboy on One-Up Dragon's Lair. I don't think we're going to see that. What's happening, 19K Fox? Thank you so much for being here. So let's start out with Arcade1Up and iArcade are both releasing a Dragon's Lair cabinet, and this is actually a pretty competitive process because iArcade put up their announcement for the Gold Edition cabs. They did the early $200 off for pre-orders. People were out there, and there was a chance to buy a cabinet with Dragon's Lair on it, and a cabinet with Dragon's Lair on it that also has Dragon's Lair-inspired art. Shortly after that, in fact, a few days later, the long-awaited Dragon's Lair Arcade1Up cabinet also came out surprisingly early for pre-order right after iArcade put theirs out, and they also had an initial online discount, $50 Dirk discount for you picking up the cabinet. And it just seemed very strange that these two cabinets came out at the same time. I know for iArcade, it's nothing competitive. They're just trying to put out their gold cabinet, but from Arcade1Up, I feel like there might have been a little bit of a competitive edge there. And I don't think it's really intentional or malicious, but you got to look at it this way for Arcade1Up. Arcade1Up have made X thousand number of Dragon's Lair cabinets that they have to sell, that they want to sell, and they have to sell to break even on it or make a profit, whatever it is. So even though these aren't competing products in my mind, I mean, like an Arcade1Up is a dedicated recreation of the original cabinet that's more for nostalgia, collectors, other things like that. And then you have Dragon's Lair, which is really cool, Dragon's Lair iArcade, which is really cool for people who want a multicade, just want to experience Dragon's Lair and get a couple other things there. But what I guess Arcade1Up is concerned about is they would lose some of their market possibly to the iArcade side, and that's why they wanted to get out there at the same time iArcade was putting it out there. I'm not saying that it would be a huge hit and that they're directly in competition, but there is a segment of Arcade1Up's market that may be lost to iArcade and the Dragon's Lair cabinet. So that's why they put theirs out there, and maybe they felt a little pressure to do so when iArcade did their sale. I might purely be speculating there. There might be no validity to what I'm saying. I'm just looking at it and trying to put the pieces together, but that was kind of my impression. Console Kit says Arcade1Up was like, hold my beer. Nick says, I'm taking a leap of faith for the Gold Edition's new features. I have the Dragon's Lair iArcade on Gold on reserve. The cabinet just looks incredible. Is that P-Dub's background? Exactly P-Dub's background. And I tell you right now, if anybody else makes videos about home arcade, P-Dubs is going to get you. I can't wait to get my 1-Up Dragon Lair. Looks fantastic. Okay, so here's where we get back into it. I did a video when Arcade1Up announced their Dragon's Lair pre-order, and I talked about it, and I said, these aren't the same product. These aren't the same people buying them. In my opinion, the Arcade1Up iArcade, Arcade1Up iArcade, we're not there yet, maybe one day. The Dragon's Lair iArcade is what it is. It's a multicade with the ability to play a multitude of games, one of which being a version of Dragon's Lair that's very good. For those of you that turned into my Let's Play, when was it, Saturday night? Did I do it Saturday night? I played through Dragon's Lair. I played both the competitive mode, which is the arcade mode, and then I played through the home mode and eventually beat the game. And I gotta say, both experiences were very good. Of course, they're a little bit different. I know that iArcade optimized the game for their system. They had access to the files. They put it all together, yada, yada, yada. But it's a digital clips, and it's more of a console-type version, even though they got the competitive mode. What Arcade1Up is apparently doing is they're going to try to recreate the arcade version accurately. Now, technically, both games recreate the arcade version fairly accurately. I'd have to go back and try to play around to see where iArcade is missing. I'm not that familiar with the original, so I don't know. Maybe I could also try to figure out if I played... if I got a Replicade, if they didn't charge me $150 for shipping, I'd probably have a Dragon's Lair Replicade now I could try as well. But the iArcade has a version of Dragon's Lair. It's incredibly good. It looks beautiful. The only thing is, it doesn't exactly fill the 4x3 screen. It's kind of a little bit letterbox, not letterbox like you'd see with a widescreen game, but a little bit letterbox, just to make sure it looks really good. It plays well. It's a great way to play Dragon's Lair for somebody that's not super committed to going all in on a dedicated Dragon's Lair cabinet. You can get a bunch of other stuff. The art for Dragon's Lair looks fantastic. And hey, if you don't like the art for Dragon's Lair, but you still want Dragon's Lair, you can pick up another cabinet and still get Dragon's Lair on your cabinet. I mean, it comes with it, and then you can buy the other games if you so decide. So really, who is the iArcade Dragon's Lair for? Anybody that wants to experience a very good version of Dragon's Lair and wants to have a multicade. Either you get the iArcade with the Dragon's Lair art, or you get it with something else. It's just an option. And then you get the other side of the coin, which is the Arcade1Up Dragon's Lair cabinet, which is more so for people that want to rebuild a classic arcade in their basement, or for people that have a lot of nostalgia directly for the cabinet and want to not just experience playing the game, but also want to experience playing the game in something that looks and feels like the original cabinet. So really, there's two schools here. There's no wrong answer. It just depends on what you want. Now, I don't understand why people in either camp would say, well, my version's going to be better or my version's going to be better. Really, at the end of the day, guys, it's Dragon's Lair. I think both versions are going to be really good. I think Arcade1Up's version is going to be 4x3. I think it's going to look really good. The original cabinet's going to be there. I'm really hoping there's no problems with it. And iArcade's version's really good too. There is no wrong answer here. Either way, whichever way you go, you're going to win. If you want more games, you want a multi-cade experience, get the iArcade. If you want the more dedicated Dragon's Lair experience with the dedicated Dragon's Lair cabinet, that's the one you get with the controls in the right place, the same as on the cabinet. It's going to look like Dragon's Lair. It's going to have the right art. It's going to have that alphanumeric screen. It's going to have that marquee that sticks out. That's what you're getting with the Arcade1Up camp. So, guys, you know what side you need to be on here? Whatever one you feel more comfortable with. There is no wrong answer. Me personally, I'm very fortunate, and that's not lost on me, but I'm getting both a new iArcade Gold Edition, I'm getting the Dead Cells one, and I'm getting the Arcade1Up Dragon's Lair. In fact, my pre-order was placed just over the weekend. I am getting Dragon's Lair. Like I said, that's the next cabinet I'm getting. So I'm getting both, I guess. So I'm in both camps. So take that for what it is. People who bundle. So... Unfortunately, the only person with any possibility of doing an iArcade bundle is my buddy Mike Dalton, who he's got 2 iArcade Gold Editions coming now. He has the Space Invaders and Dead Cells on order himself, so he's the only one I know that can do an iArcade bundle. But I haven't heard if Dragon's Lair will be included in one of the Arcade1Up business bundles just yet. Lilu Dallas, Multicade TM. And listen, guys, if you're out there and you think, well, man, you're all stupid, I'm going to get the Multicade, and that's the right answer. iArcade's the only answer. There's people out there with at-games cabinets running awesome sauce, playing this on Daphne, saying, no, all of you are stupid. I just play this for free on my at-games Legends Ultimate. Again, there's no wrong answer. It's all about preference here. We're all friends. The important thing is, we're all really excited for Dragon's Lair. That's a friggin' cool thing. Me personally, you guys know I love the aesthetic, nostalgia of having a whole arcade down in my basement. So I'm going to be honest with you. Having a Dragon's Lair cabinet is pretty friggin' exciting. Peter's Arcade off for the $5 bundle. $5 Super Chat bundle. Can we spend a few minutes discussing Arcade1Up bundles? I really need more info on that. So when P-Dubs, when we first started in Super Game Room, dudes, P-Dubs used to be like, why is everybody always making all the jokes? But I really feel like me and Nostalgia's ridiculousness has rubbed off on you, man. And we're there. People acting like Daphne is so much better as Ignitant. All the moves are exact same. Yeah, Brad, there is, it's Dragon's Lair. I mean, honestly, you can pull out the Sega CD version, and it's going to run really well. It's awesome. It's just Dragon's Lair. Have fun. Play it whatever way you want. There's no, I don't know what the right term for this is. There's no wrong way to do this. There's no poor way to do it. The only thing I will tell you is don't try to play the NES version of Dragon's Lair. That game's the shits. So if you come on here saying the NES versions of Dragon Lair is the optimal way to play it, then I'm sorry, man. That's the wrong answer. But anything else is totally cool. Like, let's just play Dragon's Lair and let's go in that direction. So my answer is, what do I think the right answer is? Buy everything. Participation trophies for everybody. Yeah. No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with participation trophies for everybody. But thank you for the super chat, Goofyfoot. I appreciate it. So, this is the answer here. It's up to you. Whatever you want to buy, you know what's going to be the best? Whatever your preferences are. I think both options are fantastic. I'm excited about both. It's cool that a game that's not exactly easy to emulate, like normally, unless you have like the Daphne emulator, and that's a bit of dicking around. We're going to have so many different options to play it. I love playing it on my iArcade. I'm not going to stop when I get my Arcade1Up version, But my Arcade1Up version, I'm going to have it in my basement in my arcade. And I got a little distracted, and I apologize, but I want to go back there for a second. I've been watching videos of like Dragon's Lair, not Arcade1Up videos, but like real arcade videos of people picking up Dragon's Lair Arcade1Ups. And I watched John's Arcade on the road video when he actually got his Dragon's Lair cabinet this weekend. And I know I'm not a real arcade collector, and I know I have no business talking about real arcade stuff, but seeing his excitement of having a real Dragon's Lair in his row of all his Arcade1Up cabinets, I know it's not the same, but I'm very excited about seeing a Dragon's Lair in my row of home arcades. That excites me. And watching his jazz about it and knowing the significance of Dragon's Lair is why I'm excited for the Arcade1Up Dragon's Lair cabinet, and why I think some other people will be as well. Tyler, bundle me an iArcade light gun theory, please. Game Genie, need something to chew on until I get this mystery announcement. Thanks for what you do? Well, thank you for the super chat. Thanks for what you do, brother. Yeah, we can go back there. I'll talk about this. 1 second. Console kids. Hey now, don't you dare say bad things about the NES. Go play the Dragon's Lair NES game and come back and talk to me about it, brother. Super Game Room Dude season finale this week. We'll be revealing the Michael B. Buy All Our Shit bundle. Yeah, we're going to clear out Nostalgia's Teespring store this Friday. Tune in. Online leaderboards for iArcade Dragon's Lair is a plus. Yeah, that is a really big plus. I know, I brought it up. I brought it up in the Super Game Room Dudes when we were discussing, and John D confirmed. Here's the thing. Yes, that's a plus if you're competitive with Dragon's Lair. And, cool if you are. But really, from an Arcade1Up standpoint, they didn't see much of a benefit to providing online. They weren't thinking about the updates on this one. They were just thinking about the online leaderboards. And the truth is, and you guys are going to kill me saying I'm an Arcade1Up shill here, and that's fine if you do, but the truth is, John D's talked about it, their margins, and however it works, I don't know their business model, but their margins are kind of tight on things. Maybe not, but that's what I'm being told, so I'm going on that. So their margins are really tight. So when fans revolted about the bring your own screen, they went out and sourced real alphanumeric screens that they said, we're going to do it right. But the thing about that is, in order to make that work and keep it at a competitive price point, something had to come out. So the trade-off was the Wi-Fi, because they figured the online leaderboards weren't that important. It wasn't going to move a lot of cabinets. It was much more important to include the alphanumeric scoreboard. So that's the direction they went in. So that's why there's no online leaderboards for Dragon's Lair. They cut that out of the development, and they also cut out the cost of including the Wi-Fi, which then paid for, really, the inclusion of the alphanumeric screen. So I know it's $10 to add a Wi-Fi card, but it's a little bit more than that, and people fail to realize this. Arcade1Up, are rebuilding this game from the ground up. Basically, they're not just taking the arcade ROM, throwing it on a Daphne emulator. It's being rebuilt for Arcade1Up. So much like throwing in a Wi-Fi antenna, which I think, yeah, you're right, $10 they should have done. But there's also the inclusion of building those leaderboards and how that will work. And they save some money on the cost there, I'm assuming. Yeah, there it is. Nate UT knows. More than just $10 in cost, though. Have to consider software development, support, infrastructure. Thank you very much, Nate. I appreciate it. Tyler Vandervoort, P-Dubs coming in, directing people to another show. What? Did P-Dubs really do that? Oh my God. Yeah, that was crazy. Again, P-Dubs, I don't know if you saw the beginning. Thank you very much, Tyler. I don't know if you saw the beginning, but I talked about it. There's been so much negativity lately, and that was crazy on the show Friday. And I tried my best to say it during the show. It wasn't somebody from the other channel telling people to leave and go watch their show. It was obviously an overzealous fan, somebody who wanted people to go watch his friend's show. That stuff happens. Nothing we can do about it. We shouldn't have focused on it so much. And it's happened to me here on Chillin' Chat. People have come into my chat sometimes and said the same thing. It is what it is. It's a sucky thing to do. Really, it's not something I would do, But again, it's not like somebody came in and said, come watch my channel now. Just an overzealous fan. Whatever. Not a big deal. Not a huge deal. So anyways, guys, that's all I really want to say on the Iarcade1Up versus iArcade Dragon's Lair debate. There's no wrong answer here. It just depends on what you want. And I want both. I love the version of iArcade Dragon's Lair. I love what they've got done there. John and his team have done a fantastic option. If you don't want a dedicated Dragon's Lair cabinet, but you want to play Dragon's Lair and get a really cool arcade cabinet that you can add other shit to with immaculate build quality, great sound, and just a wonderful community, go check out the iArcade. Maybe that's the right one for you. But if you do want that dedicated rebuild of Dragon's Lair, you want something that emulates the original cabinet, something that's going to bring you back to your days in the arcade, maybe the Iarcade1Up one's for you. That's my final answer on it. Do what I did, buy both. Jaster Mariel. iArcade has 19-inch screen, better controls and speakers, plus on-screen prompts. Watch all animations as movies supposedly online. No comparison. Jaster, thank you very much for the super chat. That's a good point too. So for people disappointed that the Iarcade1Up wasn't an XL Dragon's Lair and wanted a bigger screen and were concerned about the sound, those are good points to bring in as well. So thank you very much, Jaster. Yeah, the iArcade Dragon's Lair has such great speakers. I agree. Anyways, guys, that's all I'm going to say on that one. We'll move on to the other topic now, and this is the other one. People are really upset that iArcade are releasing this new version, and this new version may have features that the original cabinet doesn't have. So the community feels like they're being screwed. I don't know if that's the right term or not, but some people in the community are really upset. And my buddy P-Dubs has taken a couple knocks as well, because people are accusing him, because he had Michael from iArcade on his show, of riling people up. And then people are getting mad at me because I'm talking about light guns for the cabinet. So it's an interesting time. And you know what? I don't mind being a lightning rod for people's disappointment. I got wide shoulders. I can take it, man. So if you want to get mad at me, listen, we make mistakes. I once told everybody that Shaq was going to announce an NFL Blitz cab. I had egg on my face. It's not the first time. It won't be the last time. I told everybody I wasn't buying the Tron Iarcade1Up, that I had better self-control. I do not. I bought the Tron Iarcade1Up. I had egg on my face. I told everybody I think light guns are coming. Now, I didn't say this because I have any inside knowledge. 100% I don't have any inside knowledge. I'm just putting pieces together based on the information that's out there. I think there's a possibility. Oh, Charlie Chuck, you didn't have to do that, brother. Have a Johnny Maysburger on me this week, bud. Thanks for being a great part of the community. Charlie Chuck, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that, brother. I got to show you guys. I know some of you may follow me here on social media like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and stuff, but let me just get a picture up here really quick. Oh, before I do, no, I'll show you guys later. But thank you very much, Charlie Chuck. I appreciate that, man. You didn't have to do that. Thank you very much. So, yeah, Johnny Amaze is open again, guys. It's been open now for about 3 weeks, and this is how great they are. Like, I love the food truck. I go down there. I love the food, and I've really got close with the people that own it because I'm always posting about it, talking about it, and deservedly so. Like, the stuff is fantastic. I run like a burger appreciation group here on Facebook for our province, and like I take a lot of shit in that one too, because they're like, oh, you post too many Johnny Amaze burgers, and I'm like, guys, I'm not a paid food critic. I'm just a guy who likes burgers, and I found a place I really like, so I go there. So anyways, I've been going down there. They actually had a little baby, a little dude, last year around this time. So they've got like a 1 going on 2-year-old now. And they actually reached out to me and said, hey, Mike, we got all this clothes and other shit like that for our son that he's grown out of now. Do you want it? So I keep going down, and we haven't caught yet, but it's also a great excuse for my wife because I get to go down now and have burgers and don't take any shit for it. Because I'm like, hey, I'm going down to Johnny Mace to check to see if they got that clothes for little Thomas there. But anyways, they're awesome people. And like, Like, how cool is that? Like, they got these great people with great food, and they appreciate their customers too. So much so that they thought of me because I had a baby and said, hey, we got some clothes for you, man. Harold Miller, thank you so much for the $2, man, and fries. I appreciate it. Thank you very, 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 very much. iArcade's technical issue. It's hard getting Sinden to work on NFL Blitz. So I'll go back to the comment about what's going on with iArcade right now and the delayed announcement. So people are upset. Everybody's upset. They feel this new cabinet's coming out. They feel like their needs are not being met. They're not getting, appreciated for being original owners, original Kickstarters. And there's also a hate group, which, I got invited to, which was iArcade official fan page. And I was like, yeah, I like iArcade. And, if this guy is not in the group, I'll go to his group, talk about iArcade there. And then I quickly found out it's actually a group where people really don't like iArcade. So that was strange. I don't know why you would start a fan group to be an anti-fan group, but such is life. People get upset sometimes with products, and they're pretty negative about it too. But anyways, iArcade are coming out with their new gold cabinets. There's a possibility it's going to have an option for peripherals. Now, for everybody saying, that sucks, we're getting screwed, we can't play these games, I'm going to tell you right now, peripherals don't mean a perfect experience. So even let's say if it is peripherals, let's say there's a trackball attachment. Let's say there's some kind of spinner attachment. Think about that. These are only attachments. These are going to possibly plug in with a USB cable. You're going to have to affix it to the control panel somehow. It's not like it's going to be the most arcade authentic experience in the world. Like, obviously, it's going to be hanging off your arcade. Like, so if that's the case, don't get too crazy about it, guys, because even though this is happening now and it might happen with the cabinet coming out, I don't know. Again, I don't know anything. I don't have any inside knowledge. I will be very honest about that. If I did, I would just tell you. But if these are peripherals, I've always said I'm not in love with peripherals. Sure, they'll let you play the game, but it depends on how they attach and how it works. I don't think we're going to get swappable decks. I don't think that's a thing. I think if it is anything, it's going to be peripherals. The reason I talked about the gun one is because Glenn signed with Sinden, which seemed like fitting timing. And that seems like the most sensible peripheral because it's not something that has to be on the control panel. It's something you can stand back and use. So that's why I talked about it. But alas, we're getting too far ahead of ourselves. Oh my God. Thank you so much, David Gilbert. You didn't have to do that, man. Thank you very, very much. You guys are so nice tonight. I don't know what to say. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. David Gilbert, I appreciate it. And yeah, Wednesday, I guess I'm going to treat myself to a burger. Thanks, guys. I really, really appreciate it. I don't know. Am I saying peripherals wrong, 19K Fox? I don't know. I'm in love with peripherals. She's hot. I don't know. There we go. Steven Schwartztuber. I bought iArcade in November. The cabinet's great. Cool that there's another version coming. Didn't the community want a new cabinet? Yes. Let's go into this a million different ways. So the community's upset that iArcade is coming out with a new cabinet that might have an option to add some things on because the original one didn't. But at the same time, the same people were excited when P-Dubs was making videos saying that they're going to come out with a racing cabinet. Not an attachment for your original iArcade, a separate cabinet you have to buy with a racing wheel. So what's the difference between them coming out with a cabinet that you can maybe plug a racing wheel into compared to you having to buy a new cabinet that's already a driving cabinet? It's still a new cabinet. That's what I'm having a little bit of trouble understanding here. And you know what? You can hate on me all you want. Like, obviously, I'm an iArcade fan. I like what they do. I bought a gold edition myself. That's my own pocket. So then, if they came out with a shooting cab, that's still a new cabinet you would have to buy. People would be excited about that. So I'm having a little trouble understanding the upset for this. I think that people's nature now in the world is a little bit negative in the fact that everybody thinks that someone's trying to get one over on them or something, some kind of cash grab. I don't think it's that. Hobby Hands makes an excellent point. Ever buy a new car, new features each year, so why all the hate with new features and new cabs that are not available on old cabs? Yes, exactly, Hobby Hands. Thank you very much. That's a very good point. It's the same thing with the iPhones. You buy an iPhone. I bought an iPhone 10 like 4 years ago. It is so outdated now. It's not even possible to talk about all the different features between that one. But there's people out there that buy a new iPhone every single year. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it doesn't suck. I'm just saying that this is normal business. Now, the other side of this too, can you blame iArcade from a business standpoint? They came out with a product. They're very proud of their product. They're very happy with their product. They're very involved with their community. They're very appreciative of everybody for buying their product. But at some point, their product wasn't selling more than what it already sold. So they had to expand their user base. So they didn't know if they could do it with the current product. So they said, what do people dislike about our product that we put out really in a beta form through our Kickstarter? And people said, we don't like the form factor. We don't like the fact that it doesn't have a light up marquee. We don't like the fact the on button doesn't come on and other things. They took that feedback and said, okay, we're going to build a new product that'll hopefully bring new fans into the product, bring more users in, so then maybe we can expand our user base and get better games for everybody. That was the concept behind it. So, it is what it is. It sucks. It sucks that early backers now have to sell their new cabinet and look at possibly getting the new one. But that's the way it is, unfortunately. I am sorry, guys. But I will say this. The reason why I'm bringing up this cabinet is, and I meant to do other visuals here, and I haven't done any yet tonight, but I'm going to change that now. So you guys would have saw in the thumbnail that I did for the show, I put up the NBA Jam, and then next to it, I put up the new NBA Jam Shack Edition. Now, you're probably saying, what the hell does the iArcade new model have to do with NBA Jam? So NBA Jam came out roughly about around the same time to a couple months before the iArcade actually started shipping out to Kickstarter backers. So this came out, I believe it was June, July of 2000. The iArcade came out around July 2020, I think around the same time. So then fast forward, we're going to have a June shipping date for the brand new NBA Jam Shack Edition. So we're now getting a cabinet with a 19-inch screen that has absolutely excellent screen shadows there in the display picture. Oh, God. At least they're honest with it. But we're getting a new cabinet with a 19-inch screen, a better form factor, much worse art, a better marquee. But Arcade1Up is coming out with a new cabinet in about the same time period as the original NBA Jam release. So you're getting a new NBA Jam. This was the original. It came out at the same time as the iArcade. And now at the exact same time the iArcade Gold Edition is coming out, you guys are getting the NBA Jam Shack Edition. But yet I don't hear the same negativity towards Arcade1Up for doing this, even though it's kind of the same thing. Now, I know people are saying, well, it's not the same thing. I can still play my original NBA Jam. Maybe it's a little bit different, but what I'm saying is companies do this all the time. They had a product, they sold as much of that product as they were going to sell, and they decided they needed to upgrade it to try to sell more. That's what Arcade1Up have done here. That's kind of what iArcade is doing, in my opinion. So I'll hear what you guys have to say about that. Oh, Golden Tee too. And that's the other thing I want to show you. Okay, I'm going off screen again for a second here, guys. 1 minute. I got to show you this. So as much as I've been shitting on the screen, I will tell you that I am going to get an opportunity. Pop that off. That shouldn't be up there. But I am going to get an opportunity to check out the new Golden Tee 3D XL cabinet, possibly as early as tomorrow. You guys know my buddy Mike Dalton. I shouldn't be showing his Facebook page here, I suppose, but if you want to follow him, Salty Brendan Dalty on Facebook. But anyways, just today sent me this. This is his Golden Tee 3D XL he picked up from the Brick yesterday, so very excited. I'm going to go down and check this out, and I get to see firsthand about the screen shadowing and how it actually looks in person. As much as I've been ragging on Arcade1Up for the screen, and I've heard so many rumors, it's only a rumor and it's only speculation until you get to experience it for yourself. So I'm going to get down to his place, check it out for myself, and see if the screen is as bad as everybody is saying it is, in my own opinion. Hey, Prince Malcolm. Thank you so much, brother. Everybody's going to be upset when iArcade reveals they bought the SingStar catalog for their USB karaoke mic. Can you imagine if that's all it is? Everybody's been going nuts. I've been betrayed. I've been betrayed by iArcade, and it's just a mic for the karaoke. Oh, Ritual Dello. I'm going to tell you a funny thing here now. Growing up in, I think it was like 95, 96, one of the coolest things you could do was buy those champion NBA jerseys. You know, the cheaper ones with like the letters that were just like the, I don't know what it was called. It was like the sticky material on. The first basketball jersey I ever owned was a Charlotte Hornets Muggsy Bogues jersey. That's what I wore all the time. And I went to work at this summer camp in the U.S. in Pittsfield, Massachusetts called Camp Winnetou. And like they were fascinated because in the nighttime we got a little bit of free time to ourselves. After we put the kids to bed, if we weren't on duty, we got to go play basketball. And here I am, you know, this guy from Newfoundland playing basketball with all these world-class athletes from all over the United States. And I was terrible. They let me know it. And they used to call me Muggsy Bogues when I played because of the Bogues jersey. Anyways, way off track. Sorry, guys. It was a marketing opportunity with Shaq, but I don't think it was the release people asked for. Not sure whose idea it was for the side panel graphics, though. They suck butt. They do suck butt, man. I've talked to John D about it myself, and I told him, I said, I don't get it. You're doing your first, like, Golden Tee is excellent, but it's the first, Golden Tee is more of a bar opportunity that, you know, other people can buy. When it comes to NBA Jam, that's the first, like, that really falls into our realm of, like, the arcade heads. So that could still be a bar game. And it's crazy that they do their first arcade game in the XL form factor, and it doesn't have the right artwork on it. So that was an interesting choice. $5 from Slowpoke. Thank you so much, brother. Slowpoke. Thank you very, very much for the, I don't know if that's a sticker or what it is, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. They called me Rodman because I was a hacker. New Bowl Edition. Oh, he looked very uncomfortable. Manute Bol looked very uncomfortable when he played. It looked like it hurt him to move. Yeah, so Chris Zeke does make a point there, and I will be honest. So I have an iArcade standard edition here, and I really like it. But here's the thing. When I get my gold edition, I'm probably going to try to sell this, and I don't know how hard it's going to be to sell. I tell Mike Dalton all the time with his collection, because he likes to buy and sell his Arcade1Ups pretty quickly. Like, for example, he's bought and sold Big Blue now twice since it's come out. But if he ever decides that he doesn't want all these iArcades, I don't know if he's going to have as easy a time on the secondary market trying to let them go. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. I don't know what the sale market's like. I know Charlie Chuck, I don't know if Charlie's still here, but I know he's been trying to sell his iArcade for a while now, and I don't think he's had a lot of luck with it. Not sure if Arcade1Up has exclusivity from publishers, but iArcade needs Capcom and Konami. You know, Max Power, that's interesting. We've talked about that yet. No one knows for sure. Just one second. Mike Dalton already has 3 standard edition cabinets as well. I haven't told anybody that. I said he had 8 cabinets. He actually has 10 because he has 3 standard edition cabinets. I don't even want to get into it. Slowpoke, chill and chat, making Mondays better since... Thank you very much, Slowpoke. This is episode 63 tonight. I've been doing this 63 episodes, believe it or not. Well, with the iArcade, it's a lot like the AtGames Legends Ultimate too. With both those cabinets, you're getting better quality builds, controls, other things like that, but they're not paying the same amount of money for licensing of the games and licensing of art and other assets. So that's where their margins are a little bit different than Arcade1Up's. Now, iArcade's a little bit different because then iArcade's doing specific art on the outside of their cabinet, so they're starting to get a little bit more into that side as well. So it's all different. Will the Dragon's Lair have the same large button? I'm not sure, Arcade Pilot, what you're talking about there. I'm not super familiar with it. Wait a minute. Is it really P-Dub's birthday, guys? No. It's not P-Dub's birthday. Give it up. Is it? I don't miss birthdays. That would be really sad if I did. Tim, iArcade Gold Peripherals will be called Bling. It just makes sense now. Great show. Thank you so much for the super chat, Tim. I really appreciate it, brother. I think if iArcade has peripherals, if it does come up, I think that they're going to work with somebody else to get them done. I think they will be first-ish, party-ish. That's my guess. I don't know for sure. But getting back into it, so we have Arcade1Up with the NBA Jam to the new NBA Jam. And I'm going to be honest with you, when I saw what the new NBA Jam was, when I saw it revealed and it didn't have the right art, I actually started looking around at getting a 3/4 scale NBA Jam back. In fact, an opportunity came up on the shopping channel. Crazy sale. It was $199 to get the NBA Jam 3/4 scale cabinet and with the light up deck and the stool for $199 Canadian, and I missed out on it by a millisecond. I had it in my cart, and then I went to hit buy, and then I remembered I had a $15 off shipping coupon, and I went through my email to find it, and when I went back to apply it, it was already sold out. So if I didn't do that, I'd have NBA Jam back in my arcade. I miss my NBA Jam. I would be all over the XL if it didn't look like shit. I can't, guys. The art on the outside, even though it's going to be pushing against the wall, arcades on both sides, probably never going to see the side art. I can't do it. If it doesn't look like the real cabinet, if they're not trying, I'm not buying. That's all I'll say on that. Man, if it's P-Dub's birthday, I feel like a real piece of crap. Oh, I'm not using StreamYards. Otherwise, I would definitely ask P-Dubs to come on. If it really is P-Dub's birthday and it didn't show up on my Facebook, I'm really, really just sad. But P-Dubs, I'm doing this for you. Guys, I'm a terrible singer, so I apologize now. But P-Dubs, this croon is going out to you, brother. You're the birthday, you're the birthday, you're the birthday, boy or girl. That's from The Simpsons. Anyways, happy birthday, P-Dubs, if it is your birthday. If not, I don't know what's going on here. Nope, not really into B-Ball. So when Toycade made the announcement of possible swept decks, this is before the even new gold editions was a thought. So we can't close the door on Gen 1 cabs. They say the Gen 1 cabs aren't going to be obsolete. Hold on here. Mike, I got a torn coin door sent to me by accident from Retro 530 and I'm in Canada. Do you want it for yours? No, I'm good, Max Power. Thank you very much. You don't got to do that, brother. You hang on to it. Maybe something else will come your way and you can use it, or somebody else can. I appreciate it, though. Thank you so much. So, going back to the Arcade1Up cabinet, we're increasing the NBA Jam. But this is not the first time it's happened. I mean, just last year, I replaced a bunch of cabinets. I mean, I got rid of my Centipede. I got rid of my Mortal Kombat. I got rid of my Final Fight. I got rid of my Gen 1 Street Fighter because there were new versions coming with the Legacy Edition cabs. And I bought all the Legacy Edition cabs. And then guess what? After I bought the Capcom Legacy Edition cab, less than a year later, Street Fighter 2 Big Blue came out. So, I mean, it seems like in this home arcade space, even though we in the video game space are used to a little bit more time, like Nintendo will put out a 3DS and it'll be at least 2 to 3 years in the life cycle of the system before they release the new 3DS XL. So at least you got a little bit of lead time there. Maybe in the home arcade space, that time period that we're talking about is a little bit shorter. And Is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? I don't know what the right answer is. That's what I wanted to ask you. People are upset about the iArcade, that a new version's coming out already, and that their cabinets might be obsolete. They might not. I mean, there's Bluetooth connectivity with the iArcade, so if they come out for peripherals with the gold one way, maybe they'll figure out a way to make it work for the older cabinets as well. That's what I'll say. I mean, I don't think that iArcade works on the contingency of we don't care about our owners, because I know for a fact they do care. They care so much. They consider it to be a family. Like, Jung is not out here spewing lies at people. Jung wears his heart on his sleeve. He's a good dude. If he says something, he means it. And if there's a way that they can do peripherals for everybody, they will explore every possibility to do it. But you also got to remember, I don't think iArcade's in a position where they're going to go out and just throw news out in the air anymore, especially after what happened with the Mutant Football League. After that, I mean, I think they're so gun-shy now about making announcements and telling people things until it's 100% of certainty, because they don't want to give people hope when there's no hope. I mean, it's just the way they think. That's all I'll say. Anyways, going back, I got distracted. I'm sorry, guys. Going back again, Capcom Legacy, Big Blue came out a little less than a year later. And guess what? I had 2 Street Fighters for a while. That's just the way it is. I mean, there's no way to safeguard to buy something that's going to be 100% infallible, never replaced. It's just the time period. And it's funny that you bring that up, Wayne Rice. I'll go back to Wayne Rice's comment in a second, but Harold Miller, we get a new Pac-Man every 3 months. Yeah, I feel bad for the Pac-Man fans. You guys have spent a ton of money keeping up on that. I swear to God, I've bought 2 regular Pac-Mans and a Miss Pac-Man so far in 3/4, and I'm done for a while. I'm not buying another Miss Pac-Man, and I'm definitely not buying that, what is it? Not Super Pac, Pac-Mania Cab. I'm staying away from that, so I'll stay out of there. But Wayne Ray says, I love my AtGames Legends Ultimate. And I saw a post earlier. Here we are talking about people upset that their cabinets are redundant. Well, we already went through this in one community where one community felt kind of that way, exactly in the same capacity. It's weird because when AtGames came out with the ALU 1.1, there was the ability for swappable decks on that. You could use the 4-player deck. You could bring in, what was the other thing? I can't remember now, but the 4-player deck works with it. You could switch it out for your AtGames Legends Gamer Pro, which I have right here, which has 8 buttons as opposed to 6, which is better for fighters, especially if you're playing computer games. So we've already had a company go through a change up in a cabinet to go to swappable decks. And you know what? Right now, people are asking again, when's the next upgrade to the AtGames Legends Ultimate? When are we getting the next Legends Ultimate with new features and new hardware? And I don't think one's coming, funny enough. I know this is way off topic, but just let me go with it for a couple minutes. So the AtGames Legends Ultimate, they are not coming out with a new cabinet anytime soon for that. I mean, if they do come out with a new cabinet, it's going to be a driving cabinet, which has already been announced, which is a separate unit. But here's the thing, they sneakily did come out with an upgrade for the AtGames Legends Ultimate, and I think it can be used by both ALU 1.0 and 1.1, and you guys are probably saying, I don't know what you're talking about, Mike, I've never heard about it. Well, you did. It's the AtGames Legends Core Max. So basically what it is, that Core Max plugs in and becomes the new brain for your machine. So if you want to upgrade your AtGames Legends Ultimate so you can play better emulated games, so you can play pinball in 1080p, that's why you buy your Core Max. You plug it into the USB slot, the rest of the machine hooks up like it would through Bluetooth and all that shit, and you are upgrading your machine right there with external buy. Now, me personally, I would rather not buy something that hangs out of the cabinet. I made the joke in another video like a colostomy bag, but it really does work. And, you know, you just have to plug it in through the HDMI in, and then this becomes a new brain for your console, and you can play more highly advanced emulated games and pinball in 1080p. So there's an option as well. I don't know if AtGames are going to build another cab anytime soon, JJ. That's a really good point. I would like to see, it's tough because it's tough. That's all I'll say. Maybe they will, but I think for what you're looking for, that's more of a build yourself kind of BYOB cabinet with a computer in there. Maybe that's the way to go. Scott, I'm sorry I missed your comment there. I got it up here. CoreMax is going hardware, but can't do much of anything other than pinball. Yeah, it upgrades the pinball and the ALU. So the way that the CoreMax, the way it's been explained to me, if you plug it in and you play through the CoreMax on your ALU, so really you're playing through the CoreMax, the pinball on the ALU will be 1080p as opposed to 720p. We need legit racing and legit shooting cabs that can be multicade. Gun and driving are pretty simple control set that can be applied to many games. And see, this is something I have seen. Like, if you look at it, there's no first-party options, not right now. But with the AtGames Legends Ultimate, I mean, you can go out and buy the aim-track light gun. I bought one. I haven't done a lot of video on it. I've got to. But you can play gun games on that really well. And if you take a look at what Charlie Chalk has, I mean, he's got a Daytona build out of an AtGames Legends Ultimate. That looks pretty dope too. So, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do with it. Sure, it'd be great to have something that you don't have to buy anything else for, mess around with, one and done. I don't know. Robots and rig capes. How come the brick does not carry the Legends Core Max? Timing. The Legends Core Max is just now coming out of AtGames Direct, and I think they're trying to get it to retailers soon. Yes, Orion's Dreams Core Max has the same brain computer as the ALP. That is correct. I did, and I've got if I find it, I've got a really funny picture of of Nostalgia. He took a picture holding the AtGames controller, and Justin Console Kits, who's amazing at Photoshop, took it and replaced the Xbox, I keep calling it Xbox, the AtGames controller, replaced it with that Fisher-Price controller, and it's amazing. You got to do videos so we know your thoughts and input. Yeah, I know, man. Like, it's just timing right now. You know, I got a baby less than a month old at this point, so I'm a little sleep deprived, but I got to get back to it. I really got to try to do a better job of getting some content out there, especially about the aim-track light gun. The aim-track light gun is just, it's so cool. It's not perfect by any means. I would rather it be a Sinden, absolutely, but it's cool for what you can do. Wayne Rice's modding is fun. I haven't done a lot of it, but I certainly do enjoy when stuff's not too hard. I'm interested in the Legends driving machine, but that's a 2023 machine at the earliest. Yeah, another thing too about the Legends driving machine, I don't know if it's going to be what people expect. I think it's going to be more of a build that's dedicated towards people that are looking to play games BYOG, and it's going to be more of a racing simulator than it is necessarily an arcade racer. I just got that feeling right now. I could be wrong. It's one of the things about AtGames, though. AtGames are they make awesome arcade products, but there's concessions made to make sure that it's future proof. Like the AtGames Legends Ultimate is awesome, but it's got that giant 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 horizontal screen, 16.9 screen, and like the vertical games look so small on it, and the horizontal games got the sidebars, and you're like, why would you include that on an arcade cabinet to play retro games? But the thing is, it's future proof, so you can then turn around and play Street Fighter V on it, and you can then turn around and play Mortal Kombat 11 on it through BYOG. Buy Stuff Store is a major racing contender. Yeah, go check out Charlie Chuck's build. Go check out the stuff Buy Stuff Store is doing. Buy Stuff Accessories, amazing. The amazing work they're doing. There's lots of community options out there for us to get this stuff when we don't necessarily see the companies dropping the stuff we need. Yeah, so guys, that's kind of the conversation tonight. And like, I get it. I want to say this, like for the people that are upset, I'm not bashing on you at all. I get it. I don't like having to replace things. It sucks. But it is part of the process. And like I talked about, there is some sour grapes with it a little bit because the community wanted a new cabinet with new features. I mean, iArcade has listened, trying to seemingly offer those features, and then for people to come back and say, whoa, this isn't fair. I wanted this for my original cabinet. I mean, that's just not realistic. Nothing you buy is ever going to be future-proofed to the moon. Nothing. I mean, there's always going to be new versions of stuff come out. It's a matter of timing, what the amount of time is that's appropriate. Like me, for example, with new systems, I usually expect I can get a good 2 years before Nintendo comes out and makes a better version of what they're doing. Like for the Switch, I mean, there were, I don't know what the right term is. We haven't had a massive upgrade, but we had minimal upgrades. Like the second version of the Switch had a better battery life. Third version of the Switch had the OLED screen and a little bit bigger screen. We haven't got the HD Switch yet, but even systems are getting into it now. Like PlayStation 4, I mean, I went through 2 PlayStation 4s because I went for the PlayStation 4 and then I went for the PlayStation 4 Pro. And Xbox One, I bought 3 versions of Xbox One. I bought the Xbox One, the Xbox One S, and then the Xbox One X. I mean, it's more regular what we're getting into, that there's upgraded versions in video games. It just seems in the home arcade space, maybe it's a little faster it happens. Licensing, turnaround, product times, I don't really understand them, but it seems like the turnaround is a little bit quicker. So what you would buy before, you would buy an NBA Jam cabinet and you say, I have the best NBA Jam cabinet that Arcade1Up makes. Well, you know, you got about 1.5 to 2 years on it before a better version is going to come out. And then, you know what? You make the decision, do I just stick with what I have, or do I get the new version that might have new features I want? It's up to you. I think there's an issue with reselling these arcades, at least down here in Florida. Yeah, believe me, it's all over the place. I actually will tell you I had a really good experience tonight, and I sold something I didn't intend to sell, but local guy here, Stephen Rowe, he's actually bought a lot of the cabinets off my buddy Mike Dalton when Mike sells them. He reached out to me. He was looking to buy a Midway Legacy cabinet. He was going to buy one new. He was down talking to Mike Dalton. Mike Dalton said, yeah, hit up Michael B. Maybe he'll sell you his. So we worked out something, and I didn't intend to sell my Midway Legacy, especially this early, because I was back and forth debating on whether or not I was going to upgrade to the Mortal Kombat 30th anniversary cabinet. But yeah, so we worked out a sale. He was excellent to deal with, and I've sold my Midway Legacy. So yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere, but it is what it is. Aim Track Light Gun works good in the AtGames Legends Ultimate. It's probably the only choice for it. I don't think it's the only choice. You can still use a Sinden Light Gun as long as you play through BYOG and hook it up through a computer. There's always other options. I have the best NBA Jam cab that has ALU makes. Yeah, there we go. Anyways, guys, that's everything for tonight. I tried to take these 2 pretty contentious issues head on and try to take a different look at it, a more fun and positive look. I really hope I didn't step on anybody's toes. If you do feel that way, I'm not telling you don't feel that way. I'm just saying, you know what? Let other people enjoy their life. I get you're upset, but don't bring anybody down because you don't like it. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. But Donuts, I'm not interested in any of the new one-ups so far this year. It's funny you mentioned that. Really quickly, I'll answer this because I'm not either. Like, I'm really excited for Dragon's Lair, but Dragon's Lair was announced over a year ago. So far from what we've seen through the leaks, like NFL Blitz, Time Crisis, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, all awesome. Really exciting for the people that want them. I'm very happy for them, but none of those have any nostalgia for me or excitement for me, so I'm not too excited for those. And the XL and the Pro, like I said, I would have bought an NBA Jam, but I don't like the art on it. So yeah, I'm kind of in the same position. Real, I don't know what's going on here, brother. I have 2 new in-box original Dragon's Lair if anybody's interested in one. Replicates. Oh, did you write me about that, brother? I'm sorry if I didn't get back to you about that. I think it might have been, if I did get back to you, the shipping would have been ridiculous anyways. So anyways, if you did write me about that and I didn't write you back, I am sorry. I'm the worst. I'm ready for some new partycades. All right, guys. Anyways, I'm massively sleep deprived. I'm going to give you guys back the rest of your night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I really appreciate it. You guys, as much as sometimes people tell me thank you for what you do and for giving out the information here, also thank you for coming and hanging out with me. This would suck if it was completely one-sided and I was just talking on the camera about the stuff I enjoy. I get a lot out of this too, and I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and just chatting about home arcades and this ridiculous hobby we have. So thank you so very much for being here tonight, guys. Anyways, everybody, enjoy the rest of your Monday night. I'm sure we'll see you a couple more times this week. This is Michael B. the Game Genie, and I'll talk to you guys next time.